If you're a copywriter wanting to land your dream clients, premium clients, in this podcast, I have no idea what I'm gonna talk about. We literally have no idea what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about clients, we're gonna talk about copy, we're gonna talk about marketing, we're gonna talk about maybe dating, we're gonna talk about fitness, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. So my name is Orestes. If you don't know who I am, I've worked with many 7-8 figure clients, helped them make millions, and yeah, Jimmy, welcome to the podcast, bro.
Jimmy, hello, bro. Hello. Thank you very much.
You wanna give us a little introduction about who you are and
Yeah,
what you're
bro.
doing?
I'm also a copywriter. I'm in mid to high four figures right now. I'm also an engineering student. I also want to become a future professional racing driver. Yeah, let's do this.
Cool stuff, bro. Cool stuff, bro. You said something about engineering. Are you being
Yeah.
forced? Are you being forced to go to engineering school or no? Is it because of your choice?
No, man, not really. It's really because I think engineering is something. It's one of the things that, although everything is moving online, and most of the things that are online are the ones that can make you a lot of money very quick compared to like real life other options where you have to work 8 hours a day. Engineering is one of the only things that is never going to go extinct, and even though I think it's not going to make me as much money, it's something that can really put
Yeah.
you on a higher mental level than everybody else, because it's the things, all the calculations that you need to be doing over there, like it's everything is extremely complex, and you really need a lot of mental exercise in order to be able to go through them. So yeah, that's why
Mm.
I also do engineering.
So it's mainly mindset and paying the bills, kind of.
Mindset, and
Just
yeah,
like
I
I'm
mean,
doing it.
it's been proven by hundreds of studies basically that you have a lot more, like all the mathematicians, physicians, like everybody that has to do something with sciences has a lot more of gray area, which is basically the strongest part of your brain that comes up with calculating and solving problems. So yeah.
Bro, we're getting into fucking deep stuff just from the get go. Do you want to expand on that? Do you want to expand on that?
Expand on the engineering part,
Yes,
you mean?
yes. And how did you come up with copywriting first of all?
I was just looking basically for a way to make money online basically, like last year, because I was studying for the exams, but I still had for like the Greek exams that require a lot of studying
Yeah.
to get into the university. But I still have I have the ability to make money, so why not? And I was just looking around, and I came across a video, basically how to make money with copywriting, and I thought it was interesting, so I thought, why not? I clicked on it, and I realized it's a lot about psychology, which I really like. Like if I
Do you like manipulating
didn't have
people? Is
to,
that why?
not manipulating people, but understanding people deeper. But I think you like manipulating people, and you're
Bro,
just putting that
that
onto me.
bro, that's literally what I've been hearing every single time I'm telling somebody from my real life that, oh bro, I really like psychology and I really like to learn about how the brain works and everything. They're like, oh, so you like manipulating people? And I'm like, no, bro. And they're like, usually typically it's girls. Typically it's fucking girls who tell me this shit. They're always like, then why would you want to know how people think and how do people, what interests people and all this stuff if it's not for manipulating people? And I'm like, okay, you're stupid. Shut the fuck up. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah.
I mean, sure, but I think I like it a lot more because I can understand people on a deeper level. Because ever since I was young, one thing I've really struggled with is like understanding people's emotions, and like seeing things from another person's perspective. Because I I it's really hard for me to do that, to basically relate to somebody else.
Yeah.
Ever since I was young,
What about now? Do you still have that problem?
I no, absolutely not. Like I can. Like, it has literally been reduced to zero, bro. Like it's nothing, because you can really understand the emotions, you can really understand like the testimonials, and you can also have an opportunity to see the others through yourself. So
Mm.
basically through your experiences, because most of us experience the same things, and yeah, that's it. Like you
Bro,
can really understand other people.
It's so crazy you learn
Yeah,
copywriting because you're like, oh, I'm gonna make money online and I'm gonna become rich. I'm gonna be driving a Bugatti next year. That's what attracts most people in the game. and then they realize that they're getting so many skills that they would never have gotten otherwise. How to interact with people, how to talk to people, how to relate to people, how to influence people, how to get them to do what you want, manipulation, and a lot more other stuff, bro. Bro, don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Yeah, I mean, it
Even
is so
fucking,
much.
it even helps you with dating, copywriting. That's crazy, isn't it?
Bro, you always bring that up 10 times in in the average conversation, but okay. Move on, expand.
Bro, I think that's the most. What do you want me to expand on? How does copywriting help dating?
Yeah, like,
Bro,
you're very passionate about
It's
that.
literally
You
the
always
same
bring it
fucking
up.
thing. Copywriting is sales, dating is sales. Okay, dating is fucking sales.
Yeah.
You're selling yourself. You're selling what it would look
Or
like.
can you make the analogy where basically
Of course I
you
will.
go through the entire
Of course I
process, you go
fucking
and
will.
go.
Of course I fucking will. Like, the reason most copywriters don't get clients that pay them 35K a month or more is because they literally don't understand how dating works. That's literally it. They don't understand how it works. And so let me elaborate on that. So, first of all, what do you have to do to get a fucking girl? Now, all the people are gonna be like, "Oh, now you become a dating coach." Shut the fuck up. You have no idea about dating. Shut the fuck up. So keep watching this. So, first of all, bro, you gotta find the girl. You gotta find the girl. How do you find the girl? Go in Instagram. Go in person. Do whatever. Go on Tinder. I don't use these things, but you can use those. So, in the same way, how do you meet clients? You go to in-person events, you go to Instagram, you go on Facebook, you go on all these platforms. First of all, you gotta find them. Then you gotta talk to them. Now, when it comes to girls, you either call DM her, okay, or you cold approach her. You do one of these two things. And the same with clients. What do? You cold approach them in an event, or you cold DM them, which is what most people are gonna do, especially in this low four figure to beginner stage. You're not gonna be able to go to these events unless you fucking take like 5K out of your savings to invest in an event and go there, and then don't have money to eat. But I wouldn't recommend that, especially in the beginning. Then once you cold DM them, probably 90 to 95% of the people who you DM are gonna say no, or they're gonna ghost you. Just like with girls, most of them are gonna either say no, they're gonna say you have a boyfriend, they're gonna say all this shit, all these bullshit excuses. Okay, 95 to 90% of the people of the leads are out of the picture immediately. Okay, so then you got 5 to 10 leads to work with. These are maybes. Oh yeah, maybe we can go out. Oh yes, we can go out. You have these type of leads, and then you get them through your sales process. So what do? You don't ask them. You don't ask your client. That's the mistake a lot of people do. The client shows a little bit of interest. Maybe he replies to one of your texts, and immediately you're like, "Hey, let's work together, bro. Hey, let's get on a call, bro." And it's like, bro, you're asking for too much. There's zero intent here. There is zero intent here. So what you have to do is you have to build up the intent. So what would you do in a dating scenario, for example? Let's say you could approach her. What you would try to do is you would try to have some type of conversation there, just to keep building the intent and get her to know, you get to know her personality and she gets to know your personality. That's gonna build more intent, and that way you're gonna have more qualified leads when it comes to the DMs later when you're gonna set up the date. So that's something you wanna do with clients. Either you're gonna send them some type of free value, or you're gonna tease some free value and they're gonna say yes, or you're gonna have to try to have some conversation, whether that's personal or about their business. That's how you get more leads with more intent when they reply to you. So that's one of the things you gotta do. And then once you got all these things, that's when you go for the date. And the date is a sales call. And again, they're not gonna become a client. They're not gonna become a retainer. First of all, you might close a one-time project, okay? And one-time project maybe in dating scenario that will be you going out on a date and kissing her, whatever. I don't know. And you get the point. Then out of that, maybe you're gonna keep having these one-time projects with a girl. You're gonna keep going out, seeing each other, having sex, whatever. And it's the same thing with clients. Maybe you're gonna keep having more one-time projects. Or what is the other thing that's gonna happen? You book the retainer. You get the relationship. The same fucking thing, isn't it? Same fucking thing. And so that's the process that most copywriters don't really realize about client getting. Literally, that it's that simple. It's that simple.
And also, one more thing that I think a lot of people do not understand, and it could really cost them a lot, is the personal brand aspect. Because in both dating and in copywriting, if you have an amazing personal brand, almost like 90% of your problems go away. For example, if you have a personal brand where your Instagram is filled with like fucking Lambos, helicopters, and villas and pools, I'm making a future reference here. You're gonna understand it a bit, but if you have all of that, all of the girls are gonna see that, and they're gonna be like, "Oh wow, this guy's amazing. Maybe I should go out with him." If you're cold approaching her and she has no idea who you are.
Yes.
If you know her already, it's a different scenario.
Yes.
Yeah. And similarly in copywriting, if you have 200 followers and if you have like a few pictures where you post your food in terrible lighting with just nothing in the background and a picture of you at the gym like this, then I don't think, like, it's not going to guarantee you get 0 replies, but it's definitely going to drop your chances of getting a reply. Now, on the other hand, if you're a fucking G in everything that you post, how does...
Yes.
What is going to be the opinion of the future client?
Yes.
You know?
Personal brand, bro. Personal brand. That's why it's so important to build your personal brand. It literally helps you in all areas of your life. You build a status. It's like your business card, bro. You carry it everywhere with you. Like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything else about dating, but you wanted to share a reference about the villas and everything. You want to expand on that? What was the reference? What did you want to talk about, bro? I have no idea what you want to talk about. You know?
Yeah, you do. You're a fucking liar. Anyway, we're gonna go to a fucking insane holiday to Ios, a Greek island, in about a month or so. So yeah, we're gonna rent our own villa with a pool. We're gonna go to Ios by helicopter. It's not gonna cost too much. It's way less than people actually think. And we're also gonna rent some jet skis, do some insane cool stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like crazy. Personal brand. Most people think like, bro, I gotta pay for the fanciest hotels, pay 1,000 euros a day just so I can take a picture. That's one picture. Then I gotta go to a restaurant and pay another $200 for a fucking steak. Then I gotta go there. Oh man, I gotta pay tens of thousands of dollars to get into personal branding. And it's like, bro, you don't need that much money. You don't need that much money to look premium. You don't need that much money. Like, do you think my background looked like shit in the previous videos? Now I fixed it. Do you want to know how much it really literally costs to start looking more premium? Nothing. Fucking nothing. Most of these things I already had them in my house. I had the fucking poster, whatever this called is. I had the books, gloves. I already used them for fighting. The only thing I bought is these LED lights. But these LED lights are
fucking... $3 from Temu, bro.
Yeah.
Like...
And this I got it from my trip to Thailand a few months, 1.5 months ago. So yeah, man, it literally doesn't cost as much as you think. It literally doesn't cost as much as you think when you know how to do it. All you gotta do is know how to do it. Once you know how to do it,
yeah,
fucking easy.
And you also need to have some sense of aesthetics, but that also comes with like success.
Yeah, I feel like you can just model.
And some experience.
I feel like once you don't even need that, to be honest. You just gotta model what somebody else does. For example, you can have the conscious goal of you going to YouTube and literally just finding a background that you like so you can model it for your own background. That's something you can literally do. And you don't have to spend any time at all. You just remember what your space looks like. For example, I have a bit of a weird space because it has these stairs here. So how to come up with something unique, something on my own, which took a little bit of time. But in your case, in most people's cases, they can literally just have even if you have just a blank wall, you can do magic. You can do magic.
So, yeah, totally.
Fucking easy, man. So,
I had an idea of something that I wanted to say before.
Yes.
It left my mind.
You forgot it? Oh, fuck.
I forgot, indeed.
Oh, fuck.
It's my bad.
What's the secret to landing clients, bro? That's what we're gonna talk about.
To landing clients, I think it has everything to do with removing distractions near your space. Because the one thing we spoke about this in the most recent call in the Copy Knockout client. What's the name again?
Bro, he's in the mentorship for like a few months. He doesn't even know what the name is. It's a Copy Client Knockout program.
copy client knockout program. We discussed this in our latest call. Like, it has everything to do with removing all the distractions from your space and stimulation, basically. Because nowadays, everywhere you're gonna look, there's gonna be insane stimulation. Like, you just open your phone. Like me, I'm gonna open my phone. Bam, Instagram. Like, so much shit already. Like, so many things on my screen.
Yes.
Like 5 stories, 1 post,
Yes.
10 DMs, everything. Like, you have so many decisions to make. You have so many inputs to do, and those inputs are literally going to contribute to nothing to your success.
Yeah. And literally
Nothing.
many times you're like, bro, I'm gonna open YouTube and I'm gonna search this thing specifically. Maybe you're searching for something. And the moment you click on YouTube, you're like, you get bombarded with all these ads, all these videos and everything, and you forget what you wanted in the first place. Or you go on Instagram.
Yeah, you actually have to focus.
You go on Instagram on the For You page, and you see girls fighting, this, and you're like, fuck, I forgot what I wanted to search it for in the first place. What the hell is going on? And it's like, one of the biggest realizations I've had lately is a lot of people, what they need to do, they're trying to find the advanced tactics, the outreach secrets, the personal brand secrets, the copywriting secrets, whatever. When I feel like what they should be focusing on is getting back to the basics. I feel like a lot of people are trying to get advanced before they've mastered the basics first. And it's like with fighting. Jimmy, you already know this. You're in the fighting game too. So what does the coach do, man? First, you learn the basics. And you keep practicing them again and again and again and again. Bro, after 5 to 6 years of training martial arts every single day, and now it's become a passion. In 4 weeks, I'm having my first professional fight. I'm still practicing the basics like crazy. That's 99% of my training, bro. The basics.
Yeah, that's how it has to be. Yeah, literally. But and you said something about like finding the secret outreach method, like the secret way of closing clients. I feel like you don't need to be focusing your subconscious brain on doing this. Like basically no. If you remove all of the distractions, then you will master everything along the way. If you consistently like focus on what you have to do, and you eventually let it compound over a year, 2 years, 3 years. Because I've been in the game for like just over a year now. Orestes has been in the game for like over 3 years now, I think it is, right?
Almost 3 years, yes.
Almost 3 years, not even 3 years. And like
2.5 years.
Look at where he is now.
Yeah.
Like, do you think like he became like this overnight, like in 3 months' time? No. And I'm not saying that it is definitely going to take a lot of time. For example, if you get into flow, if you have a lot of momentum, like I closed 4 clients in like 3 months, like in the beginning of the year. Like if you focus and you actually do everything that it takes, then you can get a lot of momentum. But it is eventually going to compound, and that's what you need to be looking at. You need to be looking at the big picture, not right now.
Bro, I love what you shared about momentum. And I feel like when it comes to momentum, it's literally the biggest thing when it comes to getting clients. And you gotta be very careful of not losing your momentum once you build it. And one of the biggest things that will determine whether you lose your momentum or keep your momentum going is relationships. You gotta be very careful of the relationship you choose to be in. Yeah.
Elaborate.
We're gonna talk about this off camera, about this specific thing. I don't want to talk about this here.
But relationship, you mean with girls?
Yes.
Or...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You gotta be very careful. Bro, not only can the wrong person be like, pull you back, but you can also lose motivation. Because another thing is, you gotta be careful of how much time you're spending into these relationships. It's not just the time you're spending in these relationships. It's everything else that it's the mental energy that takes away from the goal that you have. Because imagine this, what if let's say you're spending 4 hours a day on copywriting. What if you were to spend 4 hours with your relationship? That's a simple example, bro. What if you were to spend 8 hours a day, even visualizing and everything? Maybe you had an argument. Maybe you had an argument with your girlfriend. How much do you think that's gonna affect you? How much do you think that's gonna affect you? How much is it gonna take away from your energy and from all the productivity that you could be putting into copywriting? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You wanna elaborate?
Perfect sense.
Maybe you wanna say something?
I think this comes a bit more from your own experience rather
Yes.
than what everybody should be doing.
Mm.
But I think the fundamental part that you're saying is that you should not let external factors determine
Yes.
your own mental state and what you should be doing,
Mm.
like in a bigger scale, because
Yeah.
that might be a very possible scenario for everybody. But it's just, you know, like 50% of the problem. Like the other 50% could be like university in my chance, in my
Yes.
case, basically, it could
Mhm.
be school.
Mhm.
It could be parents fighting in the background. It could be family problems. It could be health problems. It could be anything.
Yes. I agree.
If you look at it this
Yeah,
way.
it's all about the external things. Speaking of external things, what do you think about having hobbies when you're trying to scale your copywriting income? Like,
I mean, it's the best thing that you could do, basically, to have hobbies, because like look at all of the massively successful people. Like most successful people that I know, basically, they also take a Sabbath. If you know what a Sabbath is, it's like a day that where you completely like remove all of the distractions. You just take walks in nature. You just do your favorite sports, like spend some time with your favorite people, so you can just recharge and like basically remove all of the stimulation that exists around you, and basically the extreme focus that you need to be putting in at work. Because even at copywriting, like because you're in front of a computer, you need to be putting in massive inputs every single second of the day, of every hour that you're spending here, if you want the work to be productive. Like you need to be like oh, I'm gonna do this VSL now, oh, I'm gonna write this email, like especially if you don't have clients and you don't have basically the necessity that you need to do a specific project. Basically, if you're outreaching or you need to be practicing your copy, like now I'm gonna do practice, now I'm gonna do outreach. Like it's all those micro decisions that you make that take apart so much of your mental energy when they shouldn't. It's decision fatigue.
mm, so you don't think we should be working 100 hours a week?
No, bro, that's terrible. Bro, what's the point of that? I would be a fucking engineer if I wanted that.
Bro, don't you think we should be grinding all day, not having fun, and don't be lazy? Grinding like our life depends on it. Isn't that what you should be doing to make
No,
money?
man, no. You
That's
should be
what I've
doing
heard, bro.
research.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Isn't that what we should be doing?
No, man, no. Like you should be doing it like once you actually get into flow and you're actually doing it with all your spiritual and mental strength. If you're doing it like that, then absolutely no problem, because it basically aligns with your own beliefs. But if you're forcing yourself to do it, you're gonna quit in 2 days time max. There is no way you're going to continue like this.
Bro, the funniest part is every time I hear a copywriter be like, "Bro, I work all day, man. I work all fucking day." I know for a fact. Let's say they're working 12 hours a day. I know for a fact 11 of those 12 hours are
It's
procrastination.
TikTok.
Bro.
Bro.
Motherfucker. They're watching some free course on YouTube and they're like, "Oh man, I'm productive, bro. I'm learning something. I'm learning something." No, motherfucker, you're not learning anything. You're just procrastinating.
Also,
What
yeah,
if
bro,
you?
like
What if instead of spending 12 hours a day on that bitch ass course, instead you just took action 3 to 4 hours? How much more ahead would you be? If you just took action for 3 to 4 hours, how much more ahead would you be? How many clients would you have? 3 to 4 hours.
and I think this is also a bit more universal that is happening right now. And do you know what is? Because this is happening everywhere. Do you know what the cause of this is? This phenomenon? Everybody watching stuff.
Mm,
Do you know?
no,
Any ideas?
no.
It's TikTok, Instagram, video games, Netflix, everything. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it is psychologically engineered to take away your attention. That's why. And to basically put you in a low emotional state where you're completely passive.
Mm. So that. So
Yeah.
you're saying that that's the goal of these platforms, to put you in a low emotional state.
And do you know what their goal is?
Mm.
Because, no, do you know?
No, elaborate, bro. I don't know.
It's because the more time that you spend on their platforms, the more money they're going to make. If you spend more time on Instagram scrolling, on average, like if you have 3 hours average screen time on Instagram, 4 times average screen time, then on average, the more time you spend, the more money you spend on ads on Instagram.
Yeah.
So the algorithm of content is psychologically engineered to keep you there so that they can get their profits up.
Yeah, that's the number one goal of all platforms, to keep you on the platform. To keep you on the platform.
Keep you on the platform and make money.
That's why a lot of people get banned when they, for example, let's say you're running ads. One of the worst things you can do is dig very deep into the pain because when you dig very deep into the pain, they're like, oh man, I gotta click off. This is getting too tough, bro. This is getting too tough. You're twisting the knife too fucking deep. And then you
Yeah.
get a lot of click offs, and then they penalize your fucking account. And it's like, oh man. And then your client hates you. So, but bonus,
But
add tip.
isn't this shit straight from Big Brother, bro?
Hmm.
Like, it's literally designed like every single micro decision. Like, let me tell you something that I read yesterday that
Yes.
absolutely blew my mind. Like, every single video that exists, like when you're scrolling, it's not every single video gives you the same dopamine hit. One video is going to give you a bigger dopamine hit, another one is going to give you a bit smaller. And it's kind of like slot machines. You know, like when you pull, you're
Casino.
not always going to get the same. Yeah. That's why it's so polarizing, because it's so unpredictable that you never know what's going to
Yes.
be, and you're still waiting.
Bro, this
Oh,
is
I need the
insane.
bigger reward.
Yes.
I need the bigger reward.
And then all you gotta do, like, they got the best mechanism, TikTok, shorts, whatever. They got the best mechanism. It's like, because one of the things about, you know, when you're selling, your mechanisms has gotta seem like they gotta do nothing at all to get the outcome. So the outcome is, let's say, get dopamine hit, but this is subconscious, they don't know what they're doing. And then what they have to do is literally just, all they do is this. And they get a that's all they gotta do to get a dopamine hit. Whoever created this is fucking genius. And I love what you said about casinos. I was reading this a while back. I think casinos spend around 80 to 90% of their money in these slots. The thing you said where you're, I don't know the name, bro. I don't know the name of this particular game in the casino.
The
The slot
machine,
machine, yeah,
where
the
you
slot
will-
machine.
Yeah.
Because it gives people the most dopamine hit. And one of the other things they do is they purposefully get you to win. They purposely get you to win in the beginning, so you keep playing because they give you this dopamine hit. And here's a marketing secret, when you're in a high emotional state, and when you get a dopamine hit, you're in a high emotional state. When you're in a high emotional state, you're more likely to spend money with them. And just keep spending money, keep spending, keep spending, keep spending. But if they put you in a low emotional state, meaning you lose from the get-go, you're gonna be like, oh fuck, I don't wanna lose money. You get in the scarcity mode, in a scarcity mindset. So that's very big, bro. That's very big. Copywriting is everywhere. Copywriting in marketing and psychology
I
is
wanna
everywhere.
clear up. Sorry, go on.
No,
I don't wanna
that's
interrupt.
it. That's it. And once you learn this,
Okay.
once you learn marketing, psychology, and copywriting, you're literally able to make money anywhere, anywhere in when I say real business, I mean brick and mortar businesses. You can make money everywhere. So go on.
Yeah, because it's literally broad marketing tricks. Like you can pull this everywhere. Like yesterday I was writing down like how I can scale my own clothing brand. Like if I had one, how I would do the marketing? Because I'm doing kind of a reselling thing with one of my friends, and I was thinking like, what can I do like to write down ads? Like how can I grow it with social media? And bro, like I have ideas everywhere to grow it.
Yes.
And this is because of copywriting.
Exactly. So fucking easy.
Like, one thing that I also want to clear up about dopamine. Dopamine is not your Orestes already knows this, but this is a huge misconception
Yes.
that 99% of people have about dopamine. Dopamine is not actually the chemical that is inside your brain when you receive pleasure. That is serotonin.
Yes.
Dopamine is something that is created it's basically, if you have high dopamine, you have a huge tendency to do something. You have a lot of motivation. You have tons of motivation to do
Yeah.
things. So basically, if
I can
what
elaborate.
TikTok does and Instagram Reels, when you scroll, basically it spikes your dopamine very high. Basically, to continue scrolling, that's what the dopamine hit does.
Yes.
And because it's so irregulatory, like you watch the video, low, high, low. It goes like from 0 to 100. There's no in
Yes.
between when you're scrolling.
Yes.
It's basically, it regulates your entire dopamine system, and it basically drains your mental capacity to do other tasks that are much more mentally draining. Because usually how dopamine builds up, it goes on like this. Like the more you get into flow, basically, and the more you do other stuff, like the more dopamine rises and the more motivation you have to do things. But if it has been irregulated and you're used to high dopamine all the time with minimal effort,
Yes.
then you cannot put in the effort
Yes.
to get to the high dopamine.
Yeah, I love it. Most people don't know this about dopamine, man. They're like, oh, bro, I had fun. I got so much dopamine. No, motherfucker, you don't. You don't get dopamine.
Yeah.
So, for example,
So-
like thousands
Yeah.
or tens of thousands of years ago, you would get dopamine. You would get the dopamine. You either get the dopamine when it comes to you getting an unexpected outcome that you didn't expect. That's when you get dopamine. For example, let's say TikTok. You're scrolling, scrolling,
Not much.
scrolling, 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 and then you find something that you didn't expect you're gonna find. Oh fuck, dopamine. That's where you get the dopamine. So they did an example with rats, okay, and they were throwing food to the rats when they didn't expect it in their little cage. And the first
Yeah, I read
time,
this yesterday.
they
Yeah.
were getting dopamine. They were getting dopamine, and as the people kept throwing the rats foods every 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, or I don't know the exact number of time, but as the time passed, they were getting less dopamine. Why? Because it became expected. It wasn't unexpected anymore. And so another way we get dopamine is for us to achieve a certain outcome. We get dopamine when we're thinking about our goals. That's another way we get dopamine. So, for example, let's say in my case, you're thinking that you want to become a world champion in fighting, you want to become a millionaire, you want to become this, you want to become that. You imagine your goals, and then dopamine is released so that you can go ahead and turn those goals into reality. Do those
Yeah,
things.
it's
For example,
basically it's the most simple term for dopamine is the fuel tank for motivation.
yes,
It's motivation embodied in like one
yes.
fuel tank. The more dopamine you have, the more motivated you are to do something.
Yeah. For example, 10,000 years ago, you would, let's say you would need to hunt. 100,000 years ago, you would need to hunt to eat. If you didn't hunt and you didn't kill an animal, you wouldn't have food to eat. So that's where you need dopamine, because sometimes you might not have eaten anything in days. You're drained. You're this. You're that, and you would need that energy. And dopamine gives you that energy when you need it the most. So, bro, dopamine is such an incredible topic.
Yeah,
Bro,
good.
isn't it crazy when you get to learn all these things? You're like, fuck, man, I'm so, you know.
Yeah, and it's all directly like linked to copywriting. Like you can actually use it to your advantage. Like when you're writing an ad, like you can use the dopamine inside another person's head, like with copy, like by tapping into their pains, by tapping into their goals, basically, and use it to their advantage so that they can take action to buy a course.
Yeah,
Basically.
one of the best things you can do in ads is make them feel good. Make them feel fucking good. Like a fucking slot machine, you know.
Yeah, and also another thing that utilizes this same thing.
The slot machine ad system.
video
I
games.
came up with a mechanism. The slot machine ad system.
Come on. Like another thing that uses those the dopamine so much, and basically it's tied. It's making you basically stay on the platform for as long as possible is video games. Every single video game is psychologically engineered to keep you on there. It's stuff straight from the devil, bro. Like it takes all of your dopamine, makes you spend as much time there, and also in video games it's a lot more psychological than in TikTok, because in TikTok all you do is scroll. In video games you actually become so immersed and you get so stimulated that it's crazy, bro. Like you could this is why people you can see people like stay 6 or 7 hours tied to a video game, but they might be like for half an hour or an hour on TikTok. After that it gets a bit boring. Like for video games you can do it for 7 hours, 8 hours, because there's also an increased rank system where basically it invites you to basically better your skill, where there's like ranks, there's gold, there's platinum, there's diamond. Like you basically scale, and then you crave social validation from other people. Like you get compliments when you perform good. Like when you perform bad, everybody flames you. Like it's very intense emotions, and it's on those intense emotions that these companies depend on to basically keep you hooked on there. And basically the more time you spend on there, if it's a subscription model, then you're never gonna unsubscribe. If it's like if you buy skins inside the game, like the more time you spend, the more you have to buy skins and so on.
Bro, it's so crazy. Did you know that gaming companies literally have spent millions, maybe billions, depending on how big the game is, to figure out exactly how much they will get you winning versus losing for you to keep playing? Do you know
and
that?
Also, yeah, like the ranking systems are.
This goes back to the dopamine. This goes back to the dopamine.
That you're always, yeah. So you're always in flow. Like if the challenge, like if your opponent is better than you, then the opponent feels bored and you feel like you can't do anything. So you're not in flow. You're not enjoying the game. You click off.
Yeah.
If you're equal with the opponent and you have to put in 100% to win, then you're in flow. You're not thinking. You're just feeling. Like hours can feel like seconds, literally. and that's how
Yeah.
you play more and more and more.
It's so insane, dude. So insane that people they do these things and they don't know this. Bro, they literally spend billions of dollars just to figure out, let's say the game is like you opening chests and finding treasure. They're literally gonna spend millions and billions of dollars just to figure out how often you need to be winning to keep you in the game. Not so much so that you get bored, not so little so that you're like, oh, that's impossible. And
So you stay in flow. It's
yeah,
exactly
and
it.
I was talking about this with my Muay Thai coach the other day, actually yesterday or 2 days ago, and we're talking about how most people literally would rather spend all of their free time trying to build their character in games like GTA, which is like real life. That's why most people are pulled to it, because it's like real life. That's why I was pulled into it like 8 years, 6, 7 years ago when I was in second grade high school. Yeah, that's when I was pulled, because it feels like reality. And like, wait, the reason you keep playing it because you're like, this is the only way I'm ever gonna drive that supercar, bro. I don't fucking know. That's why they're playing this game, and I'm like, why not just instead of spending 4 hours a day leveling up your character in GTA so you can have the cool guns and the supercars and the fucking villas and the mansions, why not just do the same with your business? Why not just do the same with your copywriting business? So fucking sick. Like, it's like copywriting is like a video game. I'm not saying it's all gonna be sunshine and rainbows. Most time it's gonna suck. Most time it's gonna suck. And when it sucks, it's actually good. So in the past I would be like, oh, I feel happy, bro. This is good. We're making progress. We're making progress. And then I realized that whenever you're happy, the most happy you tend, not always, you tend to make the least amount of progress when you're the most happy. But when you're more like, oh fuck, I don't want to do this, fuck, I feel this, I feel that, you feel a bit down, that's when you make the most progress. And then when you take the time off, when you take a little bit of time off after these huge growth seasons where you push, you're like, it's like you view it like this. It's like, imagine the sky clouded and everything, and let's say you fly, bro. I don't fucking know. Let's say you keep flying. You keep flying through the clouds, and eventually you step over the clouds and you can see clearly. You're like, bro, I've grown so much. What the fuck happened? That's what you think. Have you experienced it, bro?
How did I experience it?
Have you experienced that? Can you agree?
I have, like, very recently actually, because I was very stuck inside my own mind, like exactly as you said actually. Now, like, I was so into, like, oh no, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to study for university now. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm missing out on so many things. Like, all the other people at university, like, they're going out all the time, they're having fun, like they have such like big friend groups and such. Like, I don't have. But like, now that I actually clicked off of it, like, I see that I've grown so much. Like, I've worked. If I go back 1 year from now, 1 year, not even like 9 months even, bro, I had earned $200 with copywriting. I had worked with one client, and he was shit.
Yeah.
One client, like, less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And now I look down on everything that I've done. Like, I wouldn't even be, if it wasn't for copyright, I wouldn't even be recording this here. Like, everything that you see here, this steering wheel,
Yeah.
this PC, everything.
Fuck, his internet lagged.
Yeah, bro. Like,
Bro, your
it's
internet
crazy.
lagged.
And
Can you repeat? You sure? You changed your screen and then you're lagged. Can you repeat that?
like, basically, the PC, the steering wheel that I bought here to pursue my racing dreams, like, everything I bought with copywriting money, everything.
Jesus, bro. Yeah, totally. I can totally relate, bro. I'm like, I was also that way. I was like, bro, I'm not making progress, and I'm like, bro, I've made more than 100K in like a year or so, and I'm like, what the fuck, bro? How would you make? How would it be possible for anybody to make more than 100K, unless they're in my country, bro? Nobody would make 10K a month or something. They would never make 100K in 1 year or so. They would never make that amount of money. Never. They wouldn't be able to go to the beach just like I did 2 days ago and receive a 3K payment while you're on the beach. Nobody would be able to do that shit.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's crazy.
bro, sometimes you see all these people crushing it. You see them make millions. You see them being like landing all these clients and getting to 50K a month and 20K a month, and this and this and this and this, and you get discouraged. But that is why you don't want to compare yourself to people, because that's where all the discouragement comes in. I bet my left kidney here for everybody watching. The reason you feel discouraged, actually, take it back to, if you're not feeling discouraged right now, think back to a time you felt discouraged. I would easily bet my fucking kidney, and I would literally use my dog as a sacrificial lamb, as you felt discouraged after you compared yourself to somebody else. What do you have to say about comparison? We were talking about this in the mentorship call a few days ago. What do you have to say about this?
Yeah. Actually, I wanna make a small parenthesis and
Yes.
expand on something we were discussing earlier. When it comes to the dopamine and to the video games and to Instagram, TikTok, like even if you consume just a little bit too much of it, even if you consume some of it, like 5 minutes, it can literally mean that you appreciate less all the things that you have here.
Yes.
Because what it does, the less dopamine you have, the less motivation you have. And basically, if you have less motivation to do things, this impacts negatively the frontal cortex, which is a part of the brain which is basically the conscious part of the brain. And then there's the unconscious brain, which consists of other 4 parts inside the brain. It's biologically. Anyway, the prefrontal cortex only gets enhanced once you do difficult things and you have a very regulated dopamine. If it gets unregulated with TikTok and it usually spikes, come down, then you literally have less mental energy to do things. And then what is the consequence of this is that you cannot enjoy normal things as you would. Because you're so used to being like in such a high when you're playing video games. You're so used to basically scrolling and like the dopamine hits. You see exactly what you want, exactly when it has to be shown to you. Like you cannot enjoy normal things. Like I remember waking up, like when I didn't do journaling, when I fell asleep, like while I was on my phone. Like I remember waking up and I remember looking at my PC and everything that I bought with copywriting money and thinking, yeah, but it's just another day. Like it's boring. Like I'm not doing anything today to make more money and buy a better PC. Shit like that. Why? Because I had already spent all of my enjoyment and all of my dopamine doing other shit that didn't matter.
Yes. Yeah.
And like I wouldn't want to basically go out with my friends. I would stay at home and watch Netflix, do shit like that, because you get so distracted and your brain gets so depleted because of all the fun that you have while you're online that you cannot have fun normally. Like, isn't that wild, bro?
Yeah, bro. I feel like if we just deprive ourselves of dopamine, you know what I mean? It's like even a conversation, like a simple conversation with your family becomes like, bro, that was such
Boring.
a fucking. It become when you deprive yourself from dopamine, it becomes
Yeah,
so
exactly.
nice. You get so much dopamine. You're like, meanwhile in the past you'd be like, okay, can we just get over? You were talking to your family and at the same time you're like, bro, let's get this shit done. I want to go back to my home and fucking see the fucking scroll on my phone or watch Netflix. This isn't fun. Like everything becomes fun. Even you just staying with no headphones, nothing at all. You just being outside your home, your balcony, whatever you have, and you being with your dog or your little pet. It becomes so fulfilling, so nice. Just because of you doing some simple things. I feel like, bro, this is gonna sound so freaking, I don't know, weird for some people who are into materialistic stuff, but once you like this, everything is in the simple things. All the happiness is in the simple things. Yes, we're trying to make money. Yes, we're trying to drive. A lot of people are trying to drive supercars and doing this and traveling to Dubai, whatever they want. But once you do these things, and I'm speaking from experience, I've done many of these things that you would like to do, bro. They're not as fulfilling as you might think. They're not as fulfilling as you
Bro,
might think.
this
Driving,
is the exact
literally,
thought I had before getting on the call. This is the exact thought I had. Go on.
bro. Driving the cars, you become bored of it. Okay. Now, I bought a brand new car with copy money the other day in the call. Were you in the call, bro? When I bought the car? No, I think you weren't.
We discussed it a lot, but
Yeah,
anyway.
I bought the car. I already know that I'm gonna get bored of it. I'm prepared of it. I'm prepared for this. Or I'm telling you, you travel, the first time you travel alone to another country, you're like, fuck, man, they don't really do this. 2 days in the travel or 1 day in the travel, you're like, okay, this, just another. It becomes routine. It becomes routine. Or even buying this MacBook that I have right now for 2K or something last year. I was like, bro, I have a MacBook. I have a MacBook. Bro, in like 2 hours, it became normal. Or the first thing I ever bought with Copy Money is like this iPhone 15 Pro Max for 1.5K or something. Bro, literally the first few minutes I got bored of it already. I'm like, okay, that's another guy. That's a guy. Or this watch that I bought for money. It's like the same fucking thing. Whatever you buy, you get bored of it. You get bored of it. Everything
So
becomes routine.
basically, yeah. I came to the exact same conclusion before, because it's like what actually matters is that you get the rewards basically that you want. Like, you get happy from the small things, and you don't need a lot, because as humans, bro, we don't need many things to be happy. Like, no matter what, this is a thing that Andrew Tate says, like, oh, you have to be at the top of the food ladder in order to be happy. Like, life is miserable as a man if you're below. Like, are you gonna suffer to get to the top, or are you gonna suffer below? Bro, that's bullshit. That is actual bullshit. And like, the worst thing is that everybody out there listens to him because he has all the things that they want to have. But in fact, bro, you really need to be happy. Like, how were men happy in the Stone Age because they didn't have a Lambo or a Rolex? How were they happy? How could they live their lives?
Bro, can I jump in?
How did they do it? Yeah, go on.
Bro, the reality is, most people, if they're being truly honest with themselves, they don't even want this life that Andrew Tate. We're gonna just use him as an example, but what the gurus tell you that, oh, drive supercars, this, it's not even what you want, motherfucker. It's not even what you want. What these gurus have done is they've redefined, they've changed your definition of success. They change your definition of success. They make you think that, oh, if I get this is what I'm gonna feel. That's what they do. That's what every company does. That's what every company does. It's like makeup. You look ugly without makeup. Wear this fucking makeup to be beautiful. Or car. You don't have status. Buy this car. It's like they're changing or this watch. Even this watch, bro. This watch. What do they do? You're gonna get status. It's like everything. They've just redefined your definition of success. They've changed it for you, and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. That's why you may be feeling. Here's the truth. Here's a deep truth. A reason why you might be procrastinating, and a reason why you may not be getting the outcomes you want in your life, maybe whether it's about money or whatever, it may be because you don't have the real why. You might be pushing for a different reason why. You might have been brainwashed to believe that you want to get the supercars and everything, but in reality, all you really just want is making 2K a month and stay in your home, work 10 minutes a day, write 1 email a day for one client, make $2,000 a month or 5K a month, whatever, and not do anything. Just work 10 minutes. Maybe that's what you want, motherfucker. If you do, that's okay. That's what you do. Nobody can blame you for doing something that you want to do.
There's a different.
Just do what you want. Just do what you want. Just do what you want. You don't have to. You don't have to buy a car if you don't want to. It's like, fuck what the gurus tell you. Just find out your reason, your definition of success. Jimmy, what is your definition of success, bro?
Being a professional racing driver, traveling all over the fucking world, being with my friends. That's about it.
And making some money on the side, you know.
Yeah, I mean, money is the means.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Like, I'm gonna achieve I need money to achieve all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need the money to be happy. Like, if I spend the money buying a fucking nightclub, I'm gonna be miserable because I hate nightclubs.
I love it. That's something I wanted to talk about. I love what you said. I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna be happy. Most people just gotta redefine their definition. Just gonna change their definition of success. That is one of the biggest things you gotta do as a copywriter. It's like, instead of you being like, oh, I made money, I'm successful, and oh, I didn't make money, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I'm this, I'm that. No, you gotta change your definition of success. You gotta change your outcomes from money to something else, something that makes you happy. You gotta fall in love with the work. It's like the analogy a lot of people say, the quote, he who loves walking will go much further than the one who loves the destination. So if you redefine your way of success and you're like, oh, I got a fucking reply today. Ooh, nice. Nice. That's a good thing. That's a progress. I got five replies today. Wow. That's fucking good. Bro, today I hopped on a sales call. Jesus, man. I'm getting good. Now I'm booking 2 sales calls a week. What the fuck? Nice, man. Nice. That's good. And you keep working like this, and you keep measuring your progress in things you can control, because the money you can't control it. That's the reality of the world, bro. You can't control when you're gonna land clients. Of course, you can do everything to maximize your chances, but there's no way for you to control it. There's no way for you to be like, oh, I'm gonna take your money. You can't really take anybody's money. You gotta convince them to give you, and that's where timing comes in. So
Yeah, that's how it is. And also something that everybody can do, like a principle that everybody can live by, basically, to maximize everything that they do and basically maximize their life quality, is to enhance the areas of the brain. If you enhance the brain itself and remove all of the distractions, then basically everything that you want, the life that you want, is going to come to you. Because listen to this. If you train, the 2 parts of the brain is the conscious brain, the unconscious brain. The conscious brain is like the director. It tells you, do this, do that, focus on this, focus on that. The subconscious brain, the unconscious rather, not the subconscious. It's what, let me think, wait. It's basically the ideas that come to you in random moments, the imagination, the imagery that you have in your head. It's basically the internal narrator, or a recording device inside your head. Basically, it records everything and then it just plays it back in a loop, like dreams. I think it's called the default neural network, something like that.
Okay.
And the way that if you enhance these 2 areas of your brain and you actually let everything that you do basically come down to action, to actually taking action, and to listening to these parts of your brain. Like the unconscious brain is responsible for your future vision. It's responsible for who you identify. It's basically has your identities. Like if you enforce this part of the brain, you can be extremely creative. You can be extremely imaginative. Like you can come up with ideas very quick. You can be extremely spontaneous. And if you enhance this area of the brain, if you enhance the front cortex of the brain, you can have extreme discipline. You can have extreme decision making. You can have extremely, basically, task management. Like you can have all of the practical skills if you train the front of your brain. So if you combine those 2 and basically you remove all of the other distractions and you know how to maximize your brain, then you can do anything you want.
How do you maximize your brain and enhance your brain?
You remove distractions, because
Number 1,
the more distractions that you have.
Okay. Remove distractions. What else?
You can sit down, meditate, and journal so that you can you can basically sharpen your unconscious brain.
Okay.
Because
meditate.
if you just close your eyes, or you can just go back on remembering some memories that you had, like a trip that you took a while ago, some moments that you had with your family, then all of the images start coming to you. And it's very difficult to do this. It might sound simple, but it's very difficult because it takes a lot of mental effort. Then another thing you can do is eat healthy, because there's certain food like eggs, beef, olives, dark chocolate that enhance the conscious brain.
Is it dark chocolate too?
Something. It is true, really? Yeah, because it has something to do with the chemicals inside dopamine. Like I've
heard it's very healthy. It's my favorite chocolate, so I love it. But I didn't know it helps with the brain too. Okay, so eat healthy. Like a Mediterranean diet. What I feel like it's a Mediterranean diet. But essentially just eat everything except junk food and processed food. Just essentially that's it.
Remove distractions. Like do research on things that you want, basically, because you have so much information at your disposal nowadays. It's crazy. And it's also the positive thing about having so many distractions. It's the only positive thing, because you have so many opportunities and so much knowledge to your disposal, but you have so many distractions preventing you from getting to it. Isn't that crazy?
It is fucking crazy, bro. It is fucking crazy.
Yeah, like if you do just like 30 minutes of research a day, like if you ask ChatGPT some random questions about any subject that you want, you can find out so many things about.
Yeah.
So many things.
Yeah. It's so nice to find out things about that you're passionate about. For example, when I was in Thailand for a month or so, when I was training, I got very deep into watching podcasts and asking podcasts and asking ChatGPT about animals, about forests, about nature in general. Do you remember? I was getting really
Yeah,
deep into that. I was
yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah.
really
I
deep into
remember.
that. I even learned like how much how much force the different animals have when they bite you. I was like, uh, fucking weird stuff. I was getting into weird stuff, man. Very weird stuff. But you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta learn what you wanna learn, bro. That is it. Don't become a basement goblin. Don't listen to the gurus that tell you, oh, just become a one-dimensional thing. Just a one-dimensional person. Just here, actually, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Do whatever you want. Do you want to become just one dimensional person and become really
Do
deep into one
that.
topic? Do that. No problem. Do you want to do you want to spend 80 to 90% of your time into one topic and then 10 to 20% of your time into other things? Do that. Do you want to spend 20% of your time into, you know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying do 5 different business models. This thing, you got to pick one. But aside that, when it comes to hobbies and other interests, you can still have them. You can still have them.
Yeah, exactly. And also another way that you can enforce both the conscious and the unconscious brain is if you journal, because either if you just write down your thoughts at the moment, because that is insanely powerful. Like you would be, if you just sat down like for 20 minutes and wrote down your thoughts, you would be absolutely amazed at what you can write,
Mm,
no matter what it is. Like, but it's
mm,
just something personal to you. Like, how can I become better at this? Like, how can I change my environment to have less distractions? How can I
yeah,
eat healthier? Like, if you
yeah,
just sit down and see like everything that you can think of and then actually apply it, you would be amazed at how much better your life would get instantly. Insane.
yeah. That's one of the reasons why I love my new writing emails from my own list. You know, my own newsletter, because I get to kind of like a journal. I get to share like random shit that happened to my life, and I also get to share a lot of lessons. So if you're watching this, make sure to click the link in the description to join the newsletter. By the way, and so yeah, I really love writing emails, especially for my own self. I probably like writing emails for my own self than I like it writing for anybody else. I love it. It's
Yeah,
like a
that
journaling
makes
set.
a lot of
It's
sense.
like a fucking journaling session, bro. I love it.
Yeah. Like something also that's extremely important is to have a routine.
Mm.
Like in the morning, like every time I wake up, like, this is something I've started implementing in the past week because I've suffered from a lot of distractions in the past few months.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as I wake up, like I put in a cup of coffee, I go out to the balcony and I read like a quote, like a page from the Daily Stoic,
I
which is
have it
just
there.
like
I have it there.
a random quote.
It's right here. That's the book.
Yeah. I can see it. I can see it. I know it.
Motherfucker.
Like I just do this, I drink my coffee and then I get on with my day like after I journal and come up with my schedule every time in the morning.
Mm. Yeah, but you're not
And then
doing
I go on with my day and then another routine in the night, which is
but you're
something
not
serious.
doing these crazy routines that are like 2 hours. Oh, hot sauna and then cold shower and then journal and then meditation and then this and then that and then that, and it takes you like 2 to 3 hours just to get productive. You don't do this, aren't you?
If you want, you can do it. If you want, you can do it. But I don't like it. It's too much.
I feel like it's too much, bro. I feel like the routine should be to get you in work mode, not to take away your energy. That's what I feel like.
Yeah. It should be basically to get you started through the day. Like, did you go through the No Limits Nation course?
Uh, I'm going through it because he's my client.
Yeah, like there's a part where it's called like the morning formula. I didn't go through it, but I heard like the first 10 minutes, and basically he said like you need to sacrifice a few minutes of your day basically to get your mind in an acceptance mode, basically where you accept everything that's going on around you. You're grateful about everything that's going on around you, and
Yeah.
you basically get into work mode to be productive.
Mm, yeah.
So one
Bro,
of the
something
worst things you
else.
can do to start your day
Oh
is
fuck.
get on your phone. The
Yes.
literal worst thing.
Yeah. Bro, that's crazy. Something else I wanted to talk about. We wanted to talk about something about ego before recording this. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah.
What do you want to say about it?
Basically, ego is some people like may see it as a positive thing because there's like footballers like Ronaldo or Messi or Andrew Tate, and you see like they have tons of ego. Like bro, like Ronaldo is like nobody else can do this. Like best guy. Andrew Tate says fuck this guy. He doesn't know anything. He could never do what I did. Like all of them are like this, but what they're actually doing is comparing themselves. And I'm very sure, I could sell my left kidney, as my friend said before, and offer my cat as a sacrificial lamb. That Andrew Tate's everybody that has a huge ego and that's up here and is not humble at all, is that they had a very difficult and traumatic childhood because they just reproduce all of the insecurity that they had in the past and they project it now that they are actually successful.
Yeah.
Because the more you compare yourself to others, the more you compare yourself, like this is the literal fuel tank for ego. Like no matter what everyone else says, and like ego has so many terrible like results. There's so many effects on you, like as a person. Like you might have a high ego and like another person might be funnier than you when you're hanging out with your friends, and like you might get jealous and like not start speaking and like start wondering how other people are seeing you.
Oh, man.
This is ego.
That's literally me in the past. Literally me in the past.
Yeah.
I would hang out with people, and then when I wasn't the certain center of attention, I would be like, "Fuck, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's so easy. Like I have had this happen many times to me. And it takes practice to not get
Yeah.
affected by things like this because it's normal. But I have noticed also with myself that the less I compare myself to others, the less strong these effects become as well. And a very wise and spiritual person told me this, and I've realized in my life that it is true. Like also think about it. Like when you're comparing yourself like with Iman Gaji, like everything he did at 18, like why are you doing that?
Yeah. It's like
How is it going to make your life better? How?
yeah, exactly. It's like
Imagine like yeah, go on.
it's like you shouldn't even compare yourself to him. Just an example, because the time was different. Don't compare yourself to anyone because everyone's success is different. You're comparing yourself to. You're not comparing yourself to the rule. You're comparing yourself to the exception to the rule, to the top 0.0000001,000 more zeros 1%. That's what you're comparing yourself to. Why not compare yourself to the average, the typical stuff instead?
Don't do that either, because that's that. Like
I mean,
it
if you're
is
if
better
you're to
than
compare
comparing
yourself to anyone, the number one person you compare yourself to is who you were in the past. That's the number one person you compare yourself. That's the only way for you to grow. Then if you, which I don't recommend comparing yourself to anyone. But if you are to compare yourself to anyone, compare yourself to the typical result. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But not
Because
even that.
the more-
Not even that. But yeah.
Because the more you compare yourself to the typical person, let's say I'm slightly higher achiever than everybody else, this also fits your ego because you start thinking, "Oh, I'm better than everybody else," and this comes to the case of Tate, for example, where he's like, "Oh, I'm so much better. I'm the epitome of male performance," like shit like that. Hey, bro, just
it's fine.
you sell courses online, brother. Come on, you sell courses online. Pipe down,
bro. I saw this fucking thing somewhere, bro. Somebody, he said, he I think I saw a video about it or something about it. It was like Andrew Tate was like, if only one woman does your children, you're not a real emperor. And then somebody commented on his tweet. He's like, "Chill down, Alexander the Great. You sell courses online." You sell online courses. Yeah, it's like, oh my fucking god, bro. I literally laughed for 5 minutes once I read this the first time.
Bro, like, yeah, shit like that. It's so toxic, bro. Like it changes. It rewires your brain, literally.
I think
like,
it's
imagine
good.
if we were born 200 years ago, no social media, no distractions. Like, how were the people back then happy, you know?
Yeah. Having simple lives.
Like, wouldn't...
Having simple lives.
Like, wouldn't everybody just compare themselves? Like, in 300 BC, what if everybody compared themselves to Alexander the Great? Wouldn't they all be depressed?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you're comparing yourself to the fucking, again, 0.0001%. Stop doing that shit. Stop doing that shit. Yeah. Now, I feel like ego can be good for you when you use it, because especially when you come from a background, or you didn't have the best childhood, or maybe you got bullied when you were a kid, your confidence is very low. It's very, very low. It's completely low, bro. I'm telling you, negative confidence. That was me. That was literally me in high school. Now, what I did is, because I was, this is something people do in general as a defense mechanism. They feel insecure, for example, but then they project this super confident type of person. You're walking like this, this type of shit. That's something I was doing in high school. So I was getting bullied in junior high school, and then in high school I became this, super confident. Deep down I was fucking insecure as fuck, man. Deep down I was insecure as fuck. So that's one thing. But I feel like sometimes you gotta literally fake it till you make it. That's essentially the law of attraction. That's essentially the law of attraction. You fake it till you make it. You delude yourself and you brainwash yourself to believe you're already a millionaire, you're already a world champion, whatever you want to become, until it becomes reality. So I feel like in a sense, having ego can help you, especially when you come from these type of backgrounds. But when you have ego that's like, oh, I already know everything I need to know about this. Oh, I don't need to learn anything. Oh, I don't need to improve. Oh, I don't need to work anymore. I don't need to show up. I don't need to train so hard, and I can take it slower. That's when shit starts happening and you start getting fucked up.
Yeah. And that comes from not comparing yourself to anyone else. I have to add also.
Yeah.
Like what you just described, like the defense mechanism, like focusing. This you never want, like you didn't compare yourself once to somebody else when you were doing that, because you were focused within yourself.
When are you talking about?
When you said like you were deluded and you had this ultra confident persona. Yeah, you just focused on yourself, and this is what everybody should be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion.
Bro, I feel like that's one of the I feel like that's one of the core truths of the entire universe, of the entire earth, that nobody knows. But once you know it, you become superhuman. That's what I feel like.
Also, one more thing that makes you superhuman. Basically, being able to focus on anything for like more than 3 hours, but actually focus and actually do things. If you do this nowadays, you're better than 90% of.
Yeah.
Everybody's just brainwashed by TikTok and passivity, basically. Everybody. Like even, I had this happen to me many times, and I still do very well myself. Like if you can just do it for 3 hours a day, every day, bro, like you're better than 90% of all people.
Yeah. 3 to 4 hours a day for 3 to 4, let's say 4 hours a day, every single day. That's around 1,500 hours, 1,500 hours at the end of the year.
How crazy is that?
It's like in 3 to 5 years of you putting in that time, you're already top 0.0001%. You're literally the top. 3 to 5 years is all it takes. Because I'm not saying 3 to 5 years is what it takes to make money from copywriting. I'm saying that's what the time it takes to become one of the best in the world at it.
At anything, yeah.
At anything. 5 years. 5 years. And you're not even putting in 12 hours a day. You're putting in 3 to 4 hours a day. And within 5 years, you become one of the best. But the 3 to 4 hours you put in have gotta be, you are there. You're not like typing an email at the same time. You're like this, bro. You're not scrolling at the same time. You're texting that chick or whatever. You're just there. You're there. That's what you're fucking doing. You're there.
That's the superpower, bro.
That's
the ultimate superpower nowadays.
You can literally have everything in life. That's what most people don't realize. You can literally have everything. You can have the copywriting. You can have the dating life. You can have the fitness. You can have the passion. Just like me, I have fighting. Jimmy has driving for F1 and F2. It's like you can have everything. The friends, time with family, traveling. Don't believe this shit, man. Don't believe all this shit they're telling you. Bro, if you don't work 14 hours a day, you're not gonna make money. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I bet for a fact, these people who are selling you this thing, they're not working as many hours, bro. All these people that you think are working so hard, they are not working as hard. I know for a fact. Because you can't even be productive as much time. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
After some time, the brain dies down.
You can do it for a day. Yeah, you can do it for a few days. But then you're gonna... Even Mr. Beast is talking about this. He's gonna what he does. I heard a podcast about from him a few years ago or a few months ago. I don't even remember. He said that what he loves working. So what he does is he works 12 to 14 hours a day for as many days as he can. Then he feels like burned out. He gets sick or whatever. He stops for a day or two or until he feels good again, and then he keeps going. It's like at the end of the day, you're putting in the same amount of hours. If you think about it, if you get sick and you have to stop and whatever, you're putting in the same amount of hours. So why feel sick? Why would you get fucking sick? Why not just choose something that you can stay consistent with? Success isn't a fucking marathon. Isn't a fucking sprint. Think about it like this: how long can you sprint? For how much time can you sprint? A few seconds, or you can be 100%. A few seconds. For how much time can you run? You can run for, bro. People have run for days. Days. David Goggins and all these people when they're doing these 200-mile races, they're running for days. But sprinting, you can only sprint for like max, like a few minutes, and you can't even do at full capacity. It becomes more of a. I'm not gonna get into fitness details, but it starts training another part of your cardio. It starts training cardio. It doesn't train the sprint motion anymore after a certain amount of time. So this is the difference. When you're sprinting, you can only go a few seconds, but when you're running at a certain pace that you can maintain, you can be running for days. Now put it into copywriting perspective. Maybe when you're sprinting, you can work for days, maybe a few weeks until you burn out. But if you can choose something that you can stay consistent with and you love, while you're doing everything else you want, you can be in it for years or decades. Forever, essentially. And that's what we do here. So yeah. Jimmy, anything else you want us to talk about?
No, man. I'm just a bit tired, man, because we've been speaking for like an hour and a half, and before that, I did cooking, I did work, so yeah.
Fuck, man, yeah. It's so draining, isn't it? That's why I had a shower before getting in this call, so I can feel a bit refreshed.
Yeah.
That's
like
what-
also, bro. Sorry. Touch you. Lamp in front of my head. Another thing that enforces the conscious brain is called showers, because after that you have max dopamine for 2.5 hours after a cold shower.
Is it 2.5 hours?
Yeah, something like that. You have so much more motivation after a cold shower.
Okay.
It's like science based. Yeah.
Okay. So then I'm gonna start doing cold showers. I'm not doing them anymore. But yeah, after
Go on, bro.
I've done ice baths a few times in the morning after my training session, especially at the end of the week. And it literally feels like I drank 10 espressos.
Yeah,
I've drank
that's what I mean.
10
You have so
espressos.
much motivation,
Yeah.
so much energy.
It's like the best coffee, bro. The best fucking coffee. But yeah, training.
Bro,
Also,
when I come there to Santorini, we better be training and doing ice baths.
bro, when you come
in the
here,
morning.
we're doing the helicopters, we're doing the fucking villas. So much shit you're gonna see. Jet skis,
But before that,
very good stuff.
before that, bro,
Oh man, yeah, we're gonna train together.
we also gotta train, bro, for sure.
Of course, we're gonna train, bro. My coach is gonna kill you. You know that, right?
Oh, bro, I love getting killed by other people, bro. It's okay.
Oh no, bro, you don't realize it. You don't realize what I mean. You don't.
Okay.
You gotta
I'm
experience.
gonna trust him.
Bro, you gotta have to experience this in order for you to understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, bro, I
Fucking
will.
good.
Don't worry.
Anyways, I feel like that's it. Anything else you want to leave our beloved viewers with?
Stay strong, brothers. Fuck the gurus. And yeah.
And join the fucking
Take action.
mentorship, otherwise you suck. And you're just gonna stay broke forever. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But join the fucking mentorship. DM me, and I'll get you to.
He's not really kidding, but yeah.
Oh my fucking god, man. So yeah,
Anyway, guys,
that's it, boys and girls. I love you. I hope you apply my.
to anyone who stayed this long, fucking respect.
Yeah, text us a message. Send us a message if you stayed this long. So yeah, where can they find you?
Anything.
What's your IG handle, so they can search for you?
Me, it's Jimmy X Cooks.
Oh fuck, Jimmy X Hooks. Okay, follow them. Follow this motherfucker. Text him a message that you watched until here. Show him you don't got a dopamine hit of a monkey, dopamine brain of a monkey, and let's fucking go. Let's scale, bro. Peace.
Yeah, guys.